We're going.
I just don't want somebody bursting in.
Do I put a sock on the door? Is that how this works?
Yeah.
That's typically what you do if you want privacy.
It means you're streaming.
Okay, hold on. I know everyone can only just see my chest.
I just get an alert that the Because Reasons show is online.
Oh my goodness. No way.
Cool. All right.
I heard Because Reasons is live.
I think that's what the green light means.
There we are. Well, we're good.
I'm going to share stuff to social media because I'm a social media whore. Whore!
Social media whore.
So you're going to follow a bunch of people and unfollow them again?
On what?
I don't know. Well, last time it was Twitter. What can you do this time? Follow a bunch of people on Facebook and then drop them?
Do it on Instagram for what?
Oh, Instagram. There we go.
Why don't you just call everybody out?
You know what you should do for one of these shows? You should sign up for Tinder and just do a live broadcast of Tinder swipes.
The Words Are Hard Tinder show.
You only get 100 likes though.
Yep.
So you just gotta swipe left on
plan
everyone.
it just right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Or we could try to find me a date using Tinder on the stream.
Yay.
That's a great idea.
That'd be fine.
Date stream. Inside look on our video stream. Date stream.
Should we do an intro?
Ha.
I think that was an intro.
Yeah, that was our intro. Welcome to the Words Are Hard podcast, episode 6. After our amazingly named, poorly executed Shoots and Chatters video that we tried, that I'm not going to let go of for a while.
I promise it won't happen again in the same way that it did. We will get the kinks worked out. It will happen.
Or we'll get the kinks put in.
Maybe that's what
You
it
know
means.
who I'm talking to.
The
Germans.
camera's over there.
Yeah, he wasn't talking to the camera. He's
So-
talking to the guy in your closet.
Nice fucking picture.
Stream,
by the
my
way.
fucking face.
Just
It's
your
my
giant face and your fucked up little fro. So we decided to bring another guest in today since that worked out so well with Nick, but we brought this one in person. This is our good friend Greg.
Hey, I'm Greg.
This is Greg.
I'm going to be the best guest ever. I'm going to bring all the views to the show.
Greg brings all the views to the show and they're like, come fucking watch it.
Your lyricism is
Yeah, just
Stunning.
don't put your
absolutely
point
amazing.
today.
on point. So, how are we gonna start this?
I don't know, anything interesting happened this week that you wanted to start off with?
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking go.
On Monday, I get home from work around midnight. One of my roommates, one of my 6 roommates, comes in, absolutely hammered. His friend Nick, who I don't think we've met him before on the podcast. This other Nick, different Nick,
Another Nick.
another Nick.
The other Nick.
So he comes in and he sees me playing CS:GO. He's like, "I'm amazing! I'm great at this!" Grabs a mouse and keyboard, dies instantly. He's like, "Can you drive us to McDonald's?" I'm like, "No, sure. I'll put pants on. I'll drive us to McDonald's. No big deal." So
Wait, you were playing CSGO with no pants on?
yes,
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
it's all in the details. So we end up
Shooting guns.
These are the things that people want to
and
know.
playing some CSGO too.
So, was it boxers or briefs?
so boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. Okay.
So we end up in McDonald's, and one of the McDonald's here in town has an absolutely crazy. I guess she might actually have some sort of weird mental insanity type dealio.
Nope,
going
she's
on.
Newfie.
She's also Newfie. She's from
Hashtag
Newfoundland.
alienate Newfies.
Alien New. Fuck Newfies. No. So
No, I love Newfies,
no,
man.
maybe he meant that literally.
I like cod.
so we get there.
That's a thing they
They do, yes. You guys. So we end up there, and I'm not going to say her name just out of respect, but this woman is possibly one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met. The friends get up to the counter, and one of them orders. She's like, "Can I have a Big Mac, large fry?" And she starts just ignoring exactly what he said. Just starts going off on another tangent with the other guy, Nate. And so Nick yells at her, "Give me my fucking food!" And so she's like, "Fine, fucktard," and goes and brings up the food. Everything's fine. So Nate is standing there, just repeating his order, she's ignoring him, just going off, another about her daughter or something. And these 3 people walk in behind us. 2 guys and a girl. One guy, absolutely loaded. Like he's got the squinty eyes going on. You know the kind of guy. Backwards ass baseball cap, total bro.
Alex is talking about Asians again.
Not quite, no. If he was the whitest Asian I've ever met.
You're fucked.
So this guy, he kept telling us, yeah, I'm going to be in the military. I'm going to go to Africa, and there's like 1,300 warlords that we're gonna do the peacekeeping. We're gonna keep the peace out of their shit. Like, not making a whole lot of sense. And so Nick goes and asks, "Oh, you're going to the military?" Because he had just got back to the group. You're going to be in the military. What are you going to do? Peacekeeping or such and such. He's like, "No, peacekeeping." It's like, all right, that's what I just said. So
well, I mean, if you're not peacekeeping or such and such,
you
you're
might as well be peacekeeping.
So Nick said something, kind of offhanded, and the guy's like, "I'm going to break your jaw." Remember that. So
that's very peaceful of him.
Oh, very, very. So, and meanwhile, this woman friend of his is saying he's never gonna make it. He yelled at his mom, told his mom to fuck off because she said bring the Xbox downstairs instead of keeping it upstairs or some shit, and then he cried about it. So so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Africa. He kept on repeating this, and then I walk up and I'm like, what are you even talking about? He's like, I'm gonna break your jaw. Okay, this is fucked. So Nate finally gets his food. This guy said something disrespectful to his lady friend, and then he walked behind one of the stone walls that's there in McDonald's. He the manager of McDonald's, the crazy one, overheard him say something disrespectful, so she went in after him, starts cussing him out, saying, "You don't ever fucking speak to anyone like that.
Not
that's
in my
fucking..."
McDonald's."
Yeah.
Exactly, not in my.
Yeah.
That's
That's
fucking
not what
disrespectful.
McDonald's is about.
Excuse me, bitch.
Excuse me, bitch. So then he's standing at the door, and she's just still yelling at, pointing at this woman friend of his, says, "Go apologize to her. You do not speak to people like that, let alone women." And so he's like, "Know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna leave before I lose my fucking shit at you." And he steps out the door and says, "I'm gonna break your jaw." And then he walks out. She is pissed.
Yeah.
She looks at all of us.
Mick pissed.
She's Mick pissed.
She's supersized pissed.
She grabs her headset, whips it off her head, and then runs out after him.
What?
The guy then he just bolted. Apparently, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna break it, and he just bolted. She comes back in, yelling, cursing, swearing.
Yeah.
Gets back behind the counter. I'm sitting there holding a drink and fucking McNuggets, wondering what the hell just happened. It's just absolutely fucked. So that was my eventful Monday night or Tuesday morning. Absolutely fucked.
So was anyone's jaw actually broken?
No, but me and Nick were kind of ready. If he were to take a swing at anyone, we were gonna jump in and.
But he was gonna be a peacekeeper, Alex.
A peacekeeper, and so after he stormed out, Nick looked at all of us and said, "Yeah, that's the kind of guy I want representing our country."
Yeah.
It's just gonna be out there punching warlords' jaws, and he specifically used the word warlord. Is that a thing? Is that what you call African people who want people dead?
I thought we were going to skip the racism this time, guys, because I was on
You
the show.
didn't even let me finish, you racist bastard. Oh shit! So, yeah, no. So that was my eventful Tuesday night or Tuesday
Only
morning.
you.
Only maybe. I mean, nothing good ever happens after 3 a.m.
Especially at McDonald's.
Especially at McDonald's. We once met a guy who he looked at us. He's like, "I haven't been out in 20 years."
Oh my God, the 20 guy.
I went out
2020.
I went out to the 2020, and for the first time in 20 years, I went out, and then he walks up to the counter. He's like, "Can I get $20 worth of cheeseburgers?" He slaps the $20 bill
That had
down.
to be played.
No. So this guy's really drunk, right? And he's old as fuck, and he's like, I haven't been out in 20 years. And then he's like, I got $20 worth of cheeseburgers. And I was like, that's a lot of 20s. And he turns around, he's like, yeah, I went out to the 2020 tonight. And I was like, holy shit, this guy is all 20 tonight.
20 is his
20
favorite number.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And
funny.
he probably tried to pick up a 20-year-old.
And failed
he was
20
so
times.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do that at the 2020. It's mostly
No.
just
Yeah, you can't
well,
find a
maybe he
20-year-old
doubled
there.
it and picked up a 40-year-old because that's 2 20s.
2020.
Yeah.
That's
I'm 2 20-year-olds in one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, I have a theory.
Okay.
Okay. You saw the top thing on the page, so I assume you mean so you know.
Okay.
So, the term "cover your ass," as in, I gotta do this so I can cover my ass. Otherwise the boss is gonna kill me. I have a theory that was born of a homophobic slur of some sort.
Cover your ass?
Yeah,
Yeah, because you're gonna get fucked.
that's the joke.
That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but why does that have to be homophobic?
it
Because
doesn't.
maybe there are gay guys that don't like it in the ass either.
I'll tell you what, Alex. Anybody can fuck you in the ass.
Yeah.
There's not like a key or anything.
Have you never
just
heard of the strap-on?
stick into my ass?
Yeah. Or hands.
Or
Pegging.
hands? Oh no pegging. I met a girl that was into pegging once.
Really?
Yeah,
Again, this did not surprise
Yeah.
me.
her name was Jenna.
It's the best way to win a game
Shout
of
out to
crib.
Jenna.
Shout out to Jenna.
Yeah.
She we were sitting around
Yeah.
a dueling.
Shout out to Jenna. Hashtag pegging.
hashtag.
Like I
Hi
said,
Jenna.
number one way to win a crib game.
Is pegging.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck you, Grandma.
I'm gonna peg you.
I'm out first. Pegging Grandma. Done.
Oh my god! I don't know how that happened, but yeah. So that was one of my thoughts that I had. What, that's one
Yeah,
of-
Alex likes to come up with I guess theories or hey, John's back. Shout out to John. I know we have a new viewer tonight, Christopher, who's in there, so him as well. But John's back from last week. John brought up sweet topics like turtle porn and pooping. So thanks for that, man. Really appreciate that.
Wait, turtle porn and pooping at the same time?
I can't remember what it was.
So this is why we have Greg here.
That's
You guys needed the focus.
Yeah. You're really honing in our topics here.
Yep.
But no, Alex likes to come up with a lot of theories. He likes to come up with, what do you think of this, or would you rather have this or that? So he came to me earlier on in this week and he said, do you have any topics? And the only thing I could think about all fucking week is, can astronauts masturbate? Like, I know they can, like Chris Hadfield's sitting at home, and if he wants to jerk off, he's like, and he's done, right? I'm sure he's not done that. Anyway,
You don't know him.
what?
You don't know him. Maybe he does.
Yeah, maybe he finishes that way. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm
But
assuming,
anyway.
though, you're specifying, do they...
In space. And not like, can you, like, is it physically possible? Because I'm fucking sure it is. But are they allowed?
okay. So there's a few problems that,
Yeah.
that come up. So they're not allowed to have sex on the International Space Station
No.
because they're all considered coworkers, and they have to keep everything professional. They're not allowed to engage in any sort of coitus.
So no Million Mile High Club.
Oh, fuck.
that'd be awesome. I mean, it has
That's
to.
really cool.
It has to have happened. It has to have happened before. Like, I don't think anyone's infallible. I'm pretty sure, like, it has to have happened.
Right.
A few of the scientific things there too is that, like, if an astronaut gets pregnant, the baby probably won't survive the ride back to Earth.
Would it be far enough along?
It depends on how long they're out there.
I mean, yeah, they would have to, like, discharge her back to
Damn.
Earth, like, real quick, right? Like that. So there's that.
I like how you're
Discharge.
talking
Houston,
about the word
we have a baby.
Yeah, you're talking about discharge. Well,
So that's one thing. The other part of it is that if they're fucking in the International Space Station, everything is like really.
I
close
assume they'll be
quarters.
doing it in the vagina.
I mean,
Not necessarily. They could. Be
is there any other way to
they
do
could
it,
be
Mike?
doing it- Well,
In the space station.
in the space
Space
station.
station.
You ever get fucked in the space station? No, I
Do you
prefer
want
the
it?
ass.
So because every the International Space Station is such like small quarters, like the living quarters are here, and it's like very tight. I used the
I
word-
see what you did there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's you don't want to cut any cords there because with people because you're fucking loudly in the International Space Station.
So what you're saying is if they were going to do it, they'd have to go all out and have a space orgy.
They would absolutely have to have a space
Or a
orgy.
sporgy.
A sporgy.
Sporgy.
How does Kirk do it?
Hashtag sporgy.
Kirk?
Yeah.
Like Captain Kirk?
I guess he went down to the planet,
Yeah.
fucked him there, and went back to the
Yeah,
space
he had
station.
teleportation.
So my question, like,
Transported solely.
okay, like, can you imagine how shitty it would be if you had to report back, NASA had to report back, that there was some sort of catastrophic failure on a space mission because one of their astronauts ejaculated and it got into some equipment and like fucked it up or jammed it or something. Like
What
he
would
jammed it, jammed out, jammed equipment. Right?
What would be worse, that or finding out that he got his dick stuck in something?
Houston. I got my dick stuck
My
the,
scrotum's caught
yeah.
in the
in the
the ventilation
in
system.
in the vent system again.
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 Because that's apparently a thing.
Okay, so my the other issue that I have is Houston's always watching.
I mean, that's true.
They could live stream
The-
that and put a pay gate in front of it.
How much of a delay is there when you're streaming masturbating from space?
300 milliseconds.
See, the other
Give or take.
the other
This is from experience with space ejaculation, is it?
I heard that there was a website that was offering, like, somebody gets like a couple $1 million or something crazy like that, if you submit a porn that is shot in zero gravity. Like if you go up into
it's
like
been
the
done.
atmosphere or whatever. I fucking doubt it. I'm not Googling that on my work computer again. We got truffle butter from last week. Thanks, John. And
Did you Google what truffle butter actually was?
yeah, that night in front of you. And remember when
On
I
his
said it
work
had something
laptop.
to do with black people? It's because a black fetish website showed up that happened to have that
Oh,
topic
so you
on
were
there as well.
being racist again.
No, Google made me racist by presenting me black porn.
What's wrong with... Never mind.
There's nothing wrong
So-
with it. It
so
just
the-
made me
the whole-
associate things that shouldn't be directly associated.
Okay, so the whole thing with the jizz getting stuck in, sensitive equipment, right?
Yeah.
They're not allowed toast or any sort of bread on the
I
International
saw a
Space
video
Station.
of one of them making a taco.
That's a no-no.
That's
very bad because the crumbs you can't unless you're like eating it in front of a vacuum. Like
Right.
it's not gonna happen.
Well,
there was one of the astronauts smuggled a corned beef sandwich, up on the International Space Station.
14 people died.
Something like that. No, it was like catastrophic failure of some
you've
sort.
heard of Challenger, right? That was a corned beef sandwich.
Was it?
It may have been.
It could.
All I know is that there was some sort of weird failure because someone
And they
ate
were
a
like-
corned beef sandwich.
And Kirk was back at that time
Yeah.
again. And he was like, corned beef sandwich!
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I do have one more story, but we can save that for another time.
Yeah.
Um,
Space sticks. Oh,
it's just
don't
don't
start in on that shit, John.
That's where the turtle hair elastic thing came in last
Yeah.
time. We don't want to.
The turtle hair elastic thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, could you imagine how many things you could fit in a turtle hair elastic scrotum?
So, what kind of a turtle has hair that it needs an elastic?
I pictured,
Bring up your Skype chat.
Yeah.
reminder, Mike is on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pause the entire show so that Mike can answer this question on chat.
Hey, I'm in charge of the chat. You're the one with the piece of paper. What else happened this week?
Okay. So
What?
the topic that I brought up to you, and you're like, yeah, I got can astronauts masturbate? Was if you die, what happens? Like if you die and you see a stats screen, all the stats of your life,
Yeah.
Okay.
like how many tacos eaten, or how much time spent on the toilet. Which ones would you specifically want to see?
Oh, what stats would you want to see about your own life?
Yeah, specifically.
I want to see the toilet one. I didn't before, but I do now. Now that you brought it up, I want to see how long
you've been on the toilet?
How much time spent on the toilet? Yeah.
combined. And I want to see a graph that shows it throughout my life, and I want to see oh, that was a bad year.
I was on the toilet
Yeah,
way too much.
Yeah,
that
I
year.
pooped a lot that year.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's when I ate that Mexican food.
Yeah.
It's almost too much pooping around the
How
show.
many times masturbated?
It's
I
your
don't
go-
know.
it's your
It's
go-to
always got to
topic.
come back to that.
And that's the idea, right? Like
Another bad year.
or a good year. How do you define that?
And you can
That was
see
a lonely year.
as
That's a lonely.
as your
year.
life goes on,
That was
the
the year I was
time
in
on the
space.
toilet starts to increase.
Exactly.
It's in proportion with the years.
Well, it's a bell curve.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts to go
Oh yeah,
down.
because towards the end of it, you just do it in your pants.
You reach your 40s, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's the year I got my colostomy bag.
Yeah.
It's like down
Yeah.
here. I hadn't sitting on a toilet in years. This shit in a bag.
It's been 20 years since I sat on a toilet.
It's sad.
Better go buy $20 worth of cheeseburgers and go to the 20s.
Pick up some 20-year-olds.
Like I don't know, like number of stupid things done. Like it's just in its own category.
Alex, that would
Yours
be.
would just continuously scroll.
Yeah, that would be. What are those called? A line on a graph that goes on and on forever.
Oh, just a plateau. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
plateaus
just
off.
straight.
Just
I forget what it's called. Alex.
A line.
Oh, am I being asked a question?
No, he
Oh.
just said Alex.
Somebody said your name in the chat.
Oh, okay. That's the thing. I'm trying to think.
Christopher.
What else? What else?
Fuck you.
They don't like you.
Oh, okay. I mean, all right.
I'm bored.
I'm probably the most. I'm probably the
Appreciate
most
that.
racist out of all of us.
I don't know about that.
The most racist? Don't look at me.
Let's talk about the bright light over top of you right now, Mike.
Look at this light.
Yeah. What was said?
Look how crazy I can make my face. So earlier, we were talking about this specific light and how pale I was, and how if I lean back,
It's glorious.
the light
It's-
kind of
it's
glows off
glorious.
of me. And the first thing that came to my mind was, look how much white power there is in this in this light right now.
You started going like this too, though.
Yeah, the hands
I was
were in the air.
trying to get my hands
You were reaching
to
for that
glow.
white power.
to glow like when everybody died in Terminator, and and it was like the big explosion happened. It was like it got
Just-
really bright
just
for
white.
a second.
Phrasing.
Yeah,
We need phrasing here. This is terrible.
phrasing. So one of the cool things about having Greg on is that he is my quote authority on comic books. So let's start our new segment, being a big fucking nerd with Greg.
I like the idea of this segment.
Well, I guess what are your thoughts? Because I mean, it dropped just recently. What are your thoughts on the new Spider-Man trailer, like the first trailer?
When I
Spider-Man
saw it,
coming home.
Homecoming.
On his way.
Don't-
It's
don't
two different
be-
ways to
don't-
say the same
don't be
word
so stupid.
phrase.
If no. So, I personally liked it. Being the comic book fan that I am and reading the comic books,
Sure.
I especially thought the Vulture was spot on. Made my wife watch it tonight. The exact words out of her mouth was, "That looks stupid."
Oh my god, I don't mean to steal this away, but speaking of wives, I brought up the astronauts masturbating in space thing. She's like, why don't they just do it in their suit when they do the spacewalk? Nearly pissed myself laughing. By the way, just picturing, just like, he's out on this really important mission fixing the fucking space arm, and all of a sudden they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, shut up for a second. Shut up. Shut up.
You
Shut up.
just see the one arm on the side of his suit go limp.
Yeah, how bright is the sun up there? He's, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. All right, I'm back.
Okay, what brought that on? Well, did you see those two rocks over there? They kind of look like boobs.
Yeah,
That crater.
moon rocks. Anyway, I'm sorry. So Homecoming. Yeah.
Yeah, looks
So
cool.
let's go back to talking about high school kids.
What?
But because he's in high school, right?
Oh, yeah.
In the movie. That. No,
So that's the whole thing you took away
Segues.
from that is that he's in high school and it's about high school.
Well,
kids.
the thing that like somebody mentioned in a video before is that in Spider-Man, is that they keep putting him in school in the movies. Right?
It's because Marvel thinks that nobody's going to have any interest in Spider-Man unless he's a teenage kid going through all the angsty teenage stuff. They just don't want him to grow up.
Right.
Now, currently in the comic, it's the complete opposite. He's basically the new Tony Stark. He's got his own business. He's a millionaire. That's what I want to see on the movie. Like, I want to see the grown-up Peter Parker.
Christopher thinks the wingsuit looks dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about time they put that in.
So I haven't seen the trailer.
Oh,
I saw the first part of it.
when he walks in on the Avengers.
Oh no!
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw
the
that.
first part where he's like jumping off the pyramid.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but see, if you saw that, then you would have seen the wings, because that's the scene where he spreads his arms out and there's web wings underneath his arms.
See, I wasn't looking.
Yeah, because
Because like I watch videos and I play games and browse and watch other videos. All
So
at the
you
same
didn't
time.
actually watch the beginning of it. You listened to the beginning of it.
Here's the thing.
So Spider-Man sounds cool.
Spider-Man is possibly my favorite superhero at this point.
He's
Really?
he's up
It's
there.
always like, even just when I was a little shitlin. The first I liked the first set of Spider-Man movies. The first two.
The first two were good.
The first one doesn't hold today. If I watched it today, I'd be like, "Ooh, that's lame." But it was
At the
like
time.
At the time, yeah, it was great.
It was
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the third one was absolute shit, but that was because of directing issues and.
I think a lot of that had to do with Sam Raimi had an idea of what he wanted for the movie.
Over-
and Marvel
over-
said, "No, you have to put these things in the movie."
That's the thing. They wanted 6 movies.
Yeah.
Out of it, but instead
He
they-
didn't want Venom at all in the third movie, and I
No.
believe, if I remember correctly, he actually wanted Vulture, which is what's finally going to be on the show now.
Yeah, which makes sense. And then when I thought the reboot, or the second,
The Amazing Spider-Man.
the Amazing Spider-Man, not the Spectacular Spider-Man, was
Spider-Man.
Spectacular, right? First one,
First was just Spider-Man.
which is Spider-Man. Okay, so yeah, I mean with the second set of movies, I thought the actor that played Spider-Man did a very good job.
I
thought
liked
it
it.
was pretty good. And then when I found out that they were
rebooting
again, I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. Because I mean, Emma Stone was in the first one, or was in the second set. Of course, she died because reasons. Spoilers. No one
Because reasons.
Because
oh,
reasons.
like to fit that in
Oh,
there.
that's
Yay.
We're done.
Yeah. All
We're
right.
going home.
It's been a good show. Thanks, guys.
Roll
See ya.
credits.
Sorry.
So yeah, no, but so this third one, I'm rather pumped for. I mean, the fact that we got a glimpse of him, and see, because there's a delay, I see us on the screen there.
Nothing better than watching yourself high five.
Yeah.
Other
Awkwardly,
people.
and then yeah.
I mean, except for if there was a threesome and we were, in a Eiffel Tower high five.
Yeah, I don't think my wife would appreciate that.
Jessica, I have a proposition.
No, he doesn't.
So no, that's she's
That's a call.
Yeah, so Spider-Man.
yeah, so Spider-Man. So Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm pumped to see where this goes. The fact that we got a glimpse of him in the I shouldn't say the
You were
the
going to
last
say Avengers, but it was Captain America.
Captain America. Let's be honest, it was
It was an Avengers movie,
It was an
yeah.
Avengers movie. So
Why are you touching me?
Just trying to flatten you out.
Are you calling me fat?
Jessica said you look lumpy.
You look,
I told you.
you look tiny
I
next to me. in
told
height.
you I
You
was
don't
fat.
though. You look short.
I mean,
Oh, I think it's this chair.
like look at this dwarven beard.
But
Look how short
it's
he is.
not quite as good as it used to be.
No, I like the. You look like a Goliath with like a dwarven beard. So you're half Goliath, half like.
Except you literally just pointed out that on camera I'm the shortest of the three of us sitting in this chair right now.
Yeah.
So how do you,
You
get
look like
Goliath?
a you look
You look
like
like a
if you
midget
stand,
Goliath.
yeah.
if
You
you
look
stand
like
up.
the world's
The world's shittiest
Biggest-
Goliath.
yeah. You're a midget Goliath.
But like I mean, like if you stand up, like of course you can't see it because reasons.
That would have been
it's-
so perfect.
One
If
more
you-
time.
If you stood up with no pants on,
No
that would have been fantastic. Which he's done that to me before. John's asking how tall you guys are. I'm 6'4",
I'm 6 something.
6, close to that.
I'm 6 foot. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
6.
I'm 6. Potato.
I'm this many.
I'm this many.
Every time you say 6, it sounds like sex.
Sax.
I'm Sax.
I'm Sax.
I'm Sax.
Sax. Sax.
Sax.
What
We're
are we
gonna drag
doing?
this out because we don't have anything
All right, I will.
Straight
bring
out
up,
of topic, so I'm just gonna say I'm Sax for a while.
I'm gonna bring up a story because it's on the sheet that I have here. Gonna bring up a story of what happened to me years ago. So, buddy of mine.
I don't know if being public about it is really the way to go.
Oh, it's probably not. This probably isn't the best thing to do.
Should we get a lawyer involved?
Probably. So
I'm gonna act as your lawyer.
2 or 3. Okay.
That's a terrible idea.
Oh no!
Wow.
At least
So-
it wasn't the mic.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Yeah.
So
The loud noise you just heard was Alex's douche whistle falling over on the table. So
3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I was recently single. And it was like 3 or 4 months after the fact, and one of my buddies is like, "Look, you're depressing as fuck. We need to get you out there to get you meeting someone." So we ended up going out to Dooley's. I hit on the bartender, kinda.
Did you do magic?
He hit the bartender.
Not that night. No.
That's why you struck out.
I hit the bartender. No. So just struck out. I struck her out. Knocked
Literally
her out.
Oh
struck
my
out.
god! Enough.
This is getting bad. This is not where I wanted this to go. So yeah, Justin brought us out to Dooley's. We're drinking, having a good time. He comes back from the bathroom. He's like, "Alex, I just saw 2 guys and a girl walk into the bathroom as I was leaving." I'm like, "Oh, I gotta see this." So I walk in. I stand at the urinal.
You've never seen 2 guys and a girl walking before?
They walked into the bathroom.
Yeah, I know.
The guys' bathroom together. Yeah.
Sarcastic.
So I
2
go
guys
out-
and a girl walk into a bathroom.
So I walk. So I had to pee.
That's like a punchline for the worst joke ever.
It's a setup for the worst joke ever.
Yeah.
The punchline is they
Oh,
went to the
sorry.
bathroom and then they left.
Yeah. Sorry.
So I had to pee anyway. So I broke the seal, and as I'm sitting there, there's this giggling coming from the stall, and I'm like, "This is hysterical." This is not racist the way I'm about to say
It's
this.
just some guy sitting there.
The
It's
fact
just
that
like
you
mostly-
have to point that out.
It's important to the story because I knew as soon as I was going to say it, you were going to say something. So this big black guy walks in, stands to the urinal next to me, and he's like, "Sup, brother?" And I'm losing my shit. I can't talk. And I point to the stall. He's like, "What?" And he turns to the stall and he sees like 3 or 4 sets of feet. And he's like,
4.
he's
yeah,
like,
where'd the extra person come from?
He's like, "Are there 3 people in there?" I'm like, he's like, there's people in there. The girl pipes up, "There's 4 of us in here." I'm like, "Oh my god."
So somebody was sitting there minding their business, taking a shit in the bar, and 3
3
people
people
went
walk
into
in,
the stall
and
with
they just
them,
all went with it.
And they're just like, "Don't mind us.
I just-
We're just gonna make out in the corner, do some coke off the toilet."
I assume that someone else walked in after them. But so I'm like, this is too good. So I go to wash my hands, and the black guy is like, he turns to the stall, and he's like, "There's 4 of you in there. Can I join? I'm black. I got a big dick." At that point, I'm crying, and
Why? Because you don't have a big dick?
Yeah.
that's
I was in tears.
He's not laughing, but he sits there for a second. He's
recently
like,
single.
He's like, I have a big dick, and Alex is like, I'm alone forever.
That's so. So I'm crying, and as I'm leaving, I hear the black guy trying to barter with the 4 people in the fucking in the fucking stall. He's like, "But come on, like I can just get in there." And about 4 or 5 minutes later, I see the black guy walk out, like kind of like defeated,
Struck out.
You
Struck
should have
out.
high-fived him.
I'm like, well, that's that.
Well, no, because he doesn't know if he actually got like a little bit of time in there. He doesn't know where
For
his hands
trying.
were.
For trying, at least.
Yeah, but you don't know what he was doing with that hand before he came out of that bathroom.
Doesn't matter.
It was so yeah. That's my that was my story of Dooley's downtown.
Whoa.
Ended up walking into on people.
One
That's
of my
shit.
friends told me a story about that same bar. He went into the bathroom. He was really drunk. Started peeing at the urinal, and all of a sudden he passes out. And he wakes up, and his face is burning, and his eyes are swollen, and he can't breathe, and he doesn't know what's going on. And the paramedic tells him that somebody went into the bathroom drunk, sprayed bear mace all over the bathroom, and then just left. So when he went in to go pee, there's just bear mace all over the walls, and he's huffing it drunk, right?
He walks in and doesn't feel the burn at all because he's plastic.
Yeah, he's
That
drunk
makes
as
sense.
fuck. And
The
and
next
by,
person to walk in there probably went face first into the floor, though.
yeah, by the
That's
time
fair, right?
by the time it hit him, he was like,
He's done.
Oh,
That's. Have you ever been hit with mace of any sort or pepper
No.
spray? I found out a way to make your own pepper spray, and it's
Yeah.
terrifying. I want to try it.
let's do it.
I got L'Oreal No Tears shampoo in my eyes once.
And you cried like a little girl.
It's not no
for
tears.
weeks.
Do you know why it says no tears?
There's
It's
some-
because you won't be crying over the tangling of hair.
Oh, ha ha.
That's
ha.
the idea.
See, I thought it was because the
It would-
child labor that they used to make the shampoo, they treated them nicer than the normal child labor, so there was no tears in the making of the shampoo.
No, that would be
Is this-
less.
are you doing
that,
a bit
that would
or
be
is this
less
less
tears?
tears shampoo?
Less tear shampoo.
Yeah.
Are you doing a bit, or is this actually something you thought? Like, or is this like actually a thing?
No, I really thought that, Alex.
I can't tell. You gave me a straight face, man. I was expecting that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
one of my,
it's possible.
I think one of my roommates are back.
Oh, we should go interview them.
Yeah.
We could.
No.
So yeah, Duluth's downtown. Grimy as fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, most bars in a small town city are pretty greasy, pretty grimy. I think you talked last time about Buddy stealing your ID.
Yeah, no, I guess that was the
No.
it was one of the bouncers
Z's.
took my
Mickey
ID.
Z's.
Yeah, Mickey Z's. Fuck that place.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck Mickey Z's. Hashtag
Yeah.
fuck
John
Brian.
posted their phone number in chat last time. If you want to spam call them and be like Club Chrome, more like go home, then do
Oh,
Man, those
yeah.
the walls in that place sweat mayonnaise. It's really bad. Like it's so greasy. It's actually funny.
Mayonnaise is not the grossest thing in the world. Everybody seems to, they always refer to mayonnaise as gross.
Spoiled mayonnaise.
And they're like, people eating mayonnaise is gross. But guess what? Honey Boo Boo's mom, Mama June, she hates mayonnaise, as I found out. She thinks it's disgusting. And she looks like that.
Why did you look at me when you just said she looks like that?
She looks like that.
Are you
didn't-
insinuating
I
that I
didn't
look like
lean
Honey
towards
Boo Boo's
you.
mom?
I was just getting sassy for a second. I'm sorry. That was my sassiness right there.
Sassiness.
Yeah. Mama June looks like a thumb, and she don't eat no fucking mayonnaise. So there's got to be something else out there grosser than mayonnaise to create.
Or mayonnaise is just so gross that even the fat and gross won't eat it.
Is that how it works?
That could be it. You see, you just completely deflated your entire argument about supporting mayonnaise because you pointed out that the one person that would eat almost anything in the world won't eat mayonnaise.
What? Do we have any questions from the chat?
No, actually, right now people are arguing over whether or not they love Greg.
What?
this a thing,
They're
really?
arguing over it?
Yeah.
Wait, so is there people that don't like
Man,
me
you
and
hate
people that do
Greg.
like me?
Lol, I love it. Fuck that guy, says your wife. You know you love him. No. Okay, so they're not really fighting. They're just sort of
Oh, so
they're coming
it's-
together on not loving you.
It's just a typical thing of my wife bashing me. And
Yeah, so going
Yeah,
back
go
to
ahead.
comic books,
Yes.
everybody makes fun of me because my favorite is the Hulk. Why?
why do they make fun of you, or why is your favorite character the Hulk?
I just like the Hulk just because he's simple.
No, it makes sense.
Not simple-minded, but he's just simple. Like, when I make a D&D character, I make a barbarian, like, half-orc just because it's
You
just
know,
like...
in the comics right now, the Hulk is a little Asian kid.
Fuck. I mean, no!
Yeah, he's not racist at all. My
No,
favorite character's an
no.
Asian. Oh fuck, I don't like him anymore.
No! Man, they're going hard
Yeah.
on Greg today.
In the comics,
Holy shit.
I don't want to look at it. Don't make me look at it.
Why?
Does your wife go this hard on you all the time?
Alex,
I won't bite.
where's your phone?
My phone?
Where's your phone?
No, this is my phone.
No, that's it next.
Why? What are you doing?
Just keep talking.
Yeah. So the Hulk, Bruce Banner is dead in the comics right now.
Why? Right now.
Well, they literally just killed him off like a month or so ago, and the Hulk is currently his former protege Amadeus Cho, who cured Banner of being the Hulk.
Amadeus.
Oh, you shared the thing?
I just completely lost my entire.
I was gonna
train of
call-
thought right there.
Club Chrome.
Tiny Asian guy was his protege.
Yeah, and now he's the Hulk, and he calls himself the totally awesome Hulk instead of the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, that's kind of cool. See, I like the like I said, he's just simple. It's like he doesn't need the special weapon. He doesn't have all these powers. It doesn't get complicated. When I look at other superheroes, like I don't mean to mix Marvel and DC, but when I look at Superman,
Yeah.
and they're always so like from comic to comic, his powers vary so much, and like nobody can clearly say like this is what he has.
It
So
used to be a lot.
I like
worse.
the Hulk because they're like, what is he? And they're like, oh, he's big and he's strong, and it's just like there he is. He gets mad, turns into the Hulk, and he hits things.
The cool thing about the new Hulk with Amadeus being the Hulk is that he retains his intellect right now when he hulks out. So
Now
he's
you're-
essentially the same person,
Okay.
and it's
He just
it's
gets-
different.
So he gets smart and angry.
Yeah, basically. He doesn't even have to be angry to
He can just do it?
He just hulks out. He can control it. so to speak.
This is my secret.
But Marvel's got this interesting thing going on right now where they're essentially getting rid of all the original heroes and then coming up with new people to fill in the same thing. So even though Steve Rogers is still around and still calling himself as Captain America, there's a second Captain America who was the Falcon.
Okay. Yeah.
So Sam Wilson is also Captain America. And there's, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Ultimate Spider-Man that they had in the comics for a while, Miles Morales. They brought him in, and he's in the main universe now, running around with Peter Parker. So there's 2 Spider-Men running around. There's 2 Captain Americas running around. There was 2 Hulks until Hawkeye killed this Bruce Banner.
Why would Hawkeye do that?
It's got to do with the whole...
I thought you said, why would Hot Guy do that?
Why would
Hot Guy run around with Bruce Banner?
actually in the
Does
comic
Bruce
he gets
Mars is
referred
gay?
to as Hawk Guy a lot
Hawkeye?
because there's 2 Hawkeyes. There's Clint Barton, the original Hawkeye,
Yeah.
and then there's a girl named Kate who was his protege for a while, and she calls herself Hawkeye as well.
I think the real question is one of them hotter than the other?
Well, she's a teenage girl, so it would be kind of creepy to call her hot at this point. But
Is she also Asian? If so, Mike probably hates her.
No,
Yeah, probably.
no, I want
yeah,
her-
not another Asian superhero. Oh, jeez.
No! I like the other ones.
Yeah. Name one.
The other ones.
Name an Asian superhero.
There's a new Superman now who's a Chinese guy. That's not even a lie. I know it sounds like something I
I
would
was
make
say you're
up.
making this shit up.
Dead serious. There is a Chinese Superman with a Chinese Batman and a Chinese Wonder Woman in DC Comics right now.
Is it like Earth 526?
No, it's actually the main universe. It's because storyline-wise, China wanted their own superheroes, so they made their own Justice League.
The Justice League.
You didn't.
The Justice
The
League.
Justice League.
So anyway, so Alex is a big fan of Assassin's Creed. I bought the first 2 games and installed them and then didn't play them. How do you feel about the new Assassin's Creed trailer, movie, people, everything surrounding that I haven't watched? Also,
Why do you keep bringing up stuff that you haven't watched?
So anyway,
So you cannot contribute to the conversation?
yeah.
That's probably what the people want to see, to be honest with you. They don't want to hear you talk.
So as far as the movie's concerned, I have high hopes for Michael Fassbender. I do.
Yes, I agree.
So far everything that's come out, not everything. I guess what's come out does look good. I'm a little bit worried about the Animus, 'cause it like connects to their
The what?
the Animus. So they in the games they sit in this big machine.
I thought you were using a clever word for anime, like that there was animated aspects. But
Not
you were
quite,
like,
no.
No, he's referring to the machine.
Yeah, no. So the
used
machine that's used
for
to
the actual.
Yeah, it allows you to access your ancestors' memories. It's normally like this big machine that you lay in, and it.
Oh, I played the opening tutorial.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you
so
go,
in
yeah,
the
so the
game,
Animus.
it's more like a virtual reality. But
Where in this
In this
case,
one, it's an HTC Vive. You just put it on, and you watch the whole movie. And when the movie ends at the end credit, you just see the actor there, with the 2 controllers, just in his room.
it's
by
almost
himself.
like that, though. That's my one thing I don't like about it is they literally clamp him into this thing, put him up in the air, and when he's living out this extra life, or the previous life of the assassin, he's swinging his arms around, he's kicking, he's flailing.
Do they
It's-
cut to that?
Yes.
That's incredible. I want to see Assassin's Creed only. I want to see all the clips of him only in
just
that
Michael
machine.
just in the
I
machine.
don't want to see anything when they cut back to his
Absolutely
ancestors.
no context about
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on, why he's moving
I want
like
to see
that.
the 8-minute film of just like jump cuts of him just.
So I mean, I love the Assassin's Creed universe. I mean, like the first game gave it a baseline of what to do. The second game was absolutely amazing story wise. Then the rest of the spin-offs for that, Brotherhood and Revelations, which just kind of helped the story along. The third movie was the third game was absolute shit. The fourth game is probably my favorite game of all time at this point. Which would be Black Flag. Because
I just
pirates.
picked that up for $10 on the Black Friday sale.
I've sunk a lot of hours into it because the game is just so beautiful. It's stunning.
Plus, you get to be a pirate with pirate ship. What's not to love about that?
Exactly, yeah. I bought Unity and Rogue, but haven't been able to play them because my computer's a piece of junk, or at least the graphics card is. So things. So the movie, they haven't really given us too much,
To go on.
exposition. So at this point, it's basically.
I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
Oh, I'm definitely
try
going to
and
see
watch
it. Absolutely.
It's going to go. It's going to be one way or the other. It's not going to be one of those movies that's going to be kind of in the middle and people are going to be split. Either everyone's going to love it or everyone's going to hate it. I think.
There's a YouTube channel called Cinema Sins, and they go through and they tell everyone like what's wrong about this movie, like cliches and just things that people do all the time that make movies absolutely terrible, and just flaws like.
So there's a lot of content on that channel.
They point out continuity errors that no one would like point out, and I saw that they did one for Dragon Ball Evolution, which was their most requested movie that they would review. And what they never do is they never do any sort of research on the movies.
They just go into it blind.
They just go into it and they use logic. They're like, there's no fucking possible way that Matt Damon would be able to shoot a bullet off a wall. My microphone definitely picked that.
I don't remember Matt Damon being in Dragon Ball.
No.
Matt Damon was in Dragon Ball.
No.
So, but like they'll call bullshit on like bouncing a bullet off a wall and like perfectly hitting a guy like directly in the forehead. They're like, no, bullshit.
That's not going to happen.
So I mean, like, I have a big feeling that if it's terrible, it's gonna be as bad as Dragon Ball was.
I can see it.
If it's
definitely
good,
see it.
If it's good, it's gonna be something. There's yet to be like a proper like good video game to movie adaptation, like movie.
There was some that came close, but they're not really bad.
Check it. I mean, all the Mortal Kombat.
Me
movies.
personally, I loved the Warcraft movie. And in my mind, that was the first really good video game movie. But unfortunately, audiences didn't necessarily agree, so I don't think we're going to
It's going to get a sequel, though, because it did amazing in China, and that's enough.
See, I don't think it was enough. But
then they'll just make an Asian superhero for it.
Yeah, and then something else for you to be pissed off about.
Fuck.
Damn Asians.
Yeah. You said something earlier about bouncing a bullet off a wall and going back and hitting somebody that just kind of reminded me of a story. When my father has been in the military for a really long time, and he was telling me this story about this guy who I don't know what they were doing, whether they were doing like a course on gun cleaning or something. Anyway, he bent the barrel of his gun so that it was curved like this, and then apparently he just sort of ran around the school pretending that he could shoot around corners. And he'd come up around corners and he's like, "Gotcha!" And he's like, yeah, so it was a short story, but
Why does it look like
Mythbusters
we
did
froze?
that actually. They tested the curved
Yes, I saw
barrel
that
of the
episode.
gun. They're like, yeah, we'll see if you can shoot around corners. And they bent it this way, and it shot. It
not
did
well.
Not well. No, it definitely.
If I remember correctly, they couldn't even hit a target consistently.
They couldn't
with
do it consistently.
It probably varied based on the gun too.
I mean, yeah, it's Mythbusters. They
Let's
probably, like,
test it.
All right, we need a bunch of firearms.
All right.
Anybody out there have any guns they're willing
Yeah.
to donate?
Anybody in the audience there, if you have any guns, you can. I'm not gonna.
We can't promise that they'll come back in the
Our
same.
Patreon account, or our Patreon site is in the description.
We have a Patreon. Or you have a Patreon?
No,
Totally should now.
eventually
We're gonna have to now.
Especially with
We're
me
gonna-
on the show.
We're gonna get
An
guns.
entire Patreon account just asking to have guns donated. And we'll just get a ton of guns.
Donate one gun, and I'll send you one of my socks.
And then we'll dedicate ourselves full time to this. We'll quit our jobs, and then we'll be sitting on the street, homeless, with our guns. And we'll be like, I'm
You're
still.
assuming
I'm
the government doesn't swoop in and arrest
I'm
us
still
all.
glad we did this. Just like a bunch of rifles and shit.
I think your screen froze.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, but the chat didn't freeze, and that's what matters.
That's what matters.
That's what matters most. I asked the chat which if there's anything that you guys want to hear about, if there are any particular questions you guys have for us. I got a lot of why are you friends with Craig? So I mean, you should do.
Why are you friends with?
You should do a PO box. I read that as poo box at first, and I was like, no thanks.
Mike, we have enough poop humor on this.
Cue the black helicopters. Why is it always got to be a race thing on the
No,
internet?
no. They're talking about because we're asking for guns.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I don't want a helicopter. I want guns.
No. Yeah.
There's a gun that can shoot around corners, says Jeff. It's a SMG hinged
Wait, Jeff
to a rifle
Klein.
body.
Is that Jeff Klein watching us right now?
It's
Fuck you, Jeff.
It's a Jeffrey.
The camera's over there.
Yeah, I like Jeff.
I know.
Yeah, don't
I
point at
pointed at it.
yourself. I want you. Yeah.
What are we doing? Mannequin
Fuck you, Jeff.
He
Mannequin
is off
challenge.
in that direction right now.
We're not gonna do the mannequin.
We're not doing the
challenge.
mannequin challenge.
So anyway,
Is that the first time you've had your finger jerked off?
Sadly, no.
I didn't think so.
you ever suck a dick you didn't like?
How do you answer that? This is the guy that ate the cock sandwich on one of your.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
See that video here.
Yeah. Let's. That just kind of reminds me of. I've been thinking a lot since our last Words Are Hard podcast about Carl, my supervillain that sticks like 20 suction cup dildos to himself and runs at crowds. His name's just Carl.
It's
So
Carl.
I want to picture the Avengers fighting him
It's
too.
like, who is it?
The
You know,
Avengers' greatest villain, Carl.
Yeah.
Like if you cut one of them off to like do like two go back, is this guy's name Hydra? No, it's
It's
Carl.
Carl.
that-
Yeah.
Okay. All joking aside, one of Deadpool's buddies in the comic books is Hydra Bob. It's a Hydra agent whose name is just Bob, and him and Deadpool are like best friends, and Deadpool always gets him into hijinks. They actually hinted to him in the movie.
Yeah, the guy.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah. They
No,
couldn't
it's
call
like-
him Hydra Bob because they didn't have the rights to Hydra, but
Bob?
yeah.
So how's the wife for
him.
kids?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, this is
shit.
great. Knocks him out.
Yep.
Drags
Yeah.
him.
John says Bob's not real.
Oh. Wait, is it a figment of Deadpool's imagination? 'Cause
No,
fucked
he's
up?
real.
I like Bob. What do you think Bob stands for?
Robert.
Bag of bitches.
Bombs over Baghdad.
Hashtag triggered.
You don't remember that song by
Bombs
it was
over
Outcast? Not Outcast.
Baghdad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bombs
Over
over
Baghdad.
Baghdad.
Yeah.
We're gonna get copyright flagged if we nail it that hard again. We're gonna make sure
Oh,
not to.
yeah. Bob's over Baghdad.
Bob's over Baghdad. Bunch of boobs. That's you guys in the chat.
You don't call your audience.
Boom! Our audience is made up of boobs.
And now we suddenly see people dropping off the chat.
Where are they going?
Why aren't they
wrong?
watching us anymore?
What's Google have to say?
He keeps bringing it up there, but I think we keep distracting him when he tries to.
Yeah.
What's interesting on the Google?
Yeah, I'm just trying to take a look at, I guess, sort of what
Sugar Mountain?
what people are talking about. Oh, Greg, you're a fan of the Canadians, right?
Yes.
Did you see the game the other night where Carey Price punched
Yeah. And
Buddy in the head and then in the kidneys like 40 times?
yeah.
Like,
I thought it was
nailed him.
deserved.
That was the single coolest thing, and I would love if somebody out there would sync that up with the Iron Man Hulkbuster suit when he's punching Hulk in the face
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
telling
it's
him to go
probably
to
already
sleep.
been
I want to see the audio for that and Carey Price like go to sleep, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
So, if you liked that, I know you don't really watch hockey, but I don't know if you've ever seen the clip from one of the games. I think it was like back in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
I know that it was one of the goalies was Ron Hextall, but I can't remember who the other one was. But it was two goalies, one at each end of the ice. A big fight broke out. They both dropped the gloves, skated to the middle of the ice, and then went at it in the middle of the ice.
Right. I think I saw that a long time ago. That was
Yeah.
kind of
It was actually because of that there's like big penalties for goaltenders to leave their crease and join in fights. So you don't see it anymore.
But it'd be cool if it happened again.
It would totally be cool if it
That'd
happened
be
again.
awesome. It's like their secondary goal.
Nobody watches hockey for the hockey. They watch it for the fights.
Absolutely.
that's true.
With the Canadians, a little bit of my family backstory. My great aunt, I didn't find this out until after she passed away, unfortunately, but my great aunt was the secretary for the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens back when Rocket Richard was playing. In the movie The Rocket, you see a secretary that's there with bright red hair. My aunt had bright red hair.
Really?
So I'm like 99% sure that the character in the movie was
Based
like
on.
true to form to my aunt, who at the time was in fact the secretary.
Is it your aunt or your aunt?
My aunt. We're not going to have this fight. There's not enough room in here for us to fight.
No, I want to know what this is about.
Aunt or aunt?
It's aunt.
It's aunt.
Who
Well,
calls
okay. So
wait,
there's
Do you call it aunt?
I use them interchangeably, but there's an aunt. This was my Aunt Margaret, and then I have an Auntie Anne. I also have an aunt, Aunt Tammy. You know, that's
See, a lot of times though, it's got nothing to do with how you refer to them. It's as you're brought up, what your family refers to them as, and then you continue to refer to them as that yourself. So, because for example, my grandmother would be my niece's great grandmother. So to differentiate her from the great grandmother on my brother-in-law's side, they refer to her as Gigi.
okay. Yeah.
So
Makes
now
sense.
my nieces are going to grow up referring to Gigi.
That's what I used to call the Coke dealer.
Gigi,
GG.
good grams.
GG. Good grams. Yo, hit me up on some
He's
of them.
got those good grams.
Good grams. GG.
I thought you were trying to get a fight started with the whole coupons versus coupons.
Nobody says coupons.
Who says coupons?
A particular person that used to work with me at the current job that I'm working at, with the initials JS.
Nobody says coupons. Oh, fuck that guy.
Jay,
I mean,
Do not mention the name. I don't
Yeah.
wanna get
We'll
sued.
talk about it after the show.
He most likely will sue me. Yeah, no.
Jack Skellington. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's what you're talking about, right? I never understood.
My
it.
wife's favorite movie.
I don't understand. The
All right,
whole-
let's talk about that then, Jessica. Huh?
I don't
She's
understand.
probably fallen asleep by now. She's not even paying attention.
I don't understand the whole idea of Christmas movies, specifically Nightmare Before Christmas. I've seen a girl once, and she's like, "You haven't seen it?" Excuse me. Wow, that was bad. That was.
You're the same person who didn't know Die Hard was a Christmas movie, though.
That is the only Christmas movie that matters.
Thank you.
I have to watch Die Hard now.
I get into this argument with my wife every Christmas.
He didn't know that it was a Christmas movie.
I didn't watch Die Hard.
Like, which Batman was a Christmas movie? Second
Batman
one.
Returns.
With the Penguin, right? Yeah, that took place during Christmas.
Yes,
Yeah.
was
Batman Returns.
was Batman Forever also?
No, don't be so stupid.
But there's
God damn it, Alex.
Oh my God,
But there's
Alex!
like Mr. Freeze. He
We're
was in
gonna change
Batman
you with
Forever,
him.
right? That was
Yeah,
like
but Mr.
Batman?
Freeze isn't Santa Claus.
Why not?
So why do you automatically, just because he throws ice, you associate that with Christmas?
Sure.
So let's say the Mighty Ducks. That was a Christmas movie because there was ice.
It wasn't.
Oh my God.
Hashtag.
Alex didn't know that the Mighty Ducks is a fucking Christmas movie. No, but seriously though, like, I don't understand Nightmare Before Christmas. I've never seen it. I don't have any interest to see it. I don't understand what the appeal is. I hate musicals.
I think a lot of people like Nightmare Before Christmas because it's technically not a Christmas movie. It's about a bunch of Halloween characters that decide they want to hijack Christmas. This is really weird.
It's just two bros touching fingers. Don't make it weird, man. Just keep talking.
As long as you don't take your pants off and
It's only,
start
it's only
touching
weird
other
if
things
Knuckles,
to each
it's
other.
only
then-
weird if Knuckles touch.
You don't got to take your pants off when you use your fingers. You guys ever watch Jingle All the Way?
Once,
It's
maybe.
it's not a tumor.
No,
No.
that was Kindergarten Cop.
Oh my God! Get out of here. Go watch Die Hard and,
Just- You go.
Kindergarten Cop. Throw twins in there while you're at it.
I do remember that it was like with the fucking Galacmo. You know, it's like the superhero.
Yeah, the
thing.
whole
It was,
point
it
to
was,
the
what was it? Sinbad with the brain
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole point. It's a movie that I can relate to because the whole point to the movie is trying to get that one action figure before everybody else.
Do you have that problem a lot?
No, not lately.
Yeah. No, everything's kind of mass produced now.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool if they started doing stuff like that again, though.
What, have people killing each
Well,
other?
they kind
over
of do,
fucking-
but you have to have big money.
I want a repeat of the Tickle Me Elmo fiasco when that first.
That's
launched.
happening right now. Have you not heard of Hatchimals?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. There's a big thing right now. Our friend Jeff was trying to get one. I'm like, yeah, no, good fucking luck.
for his nieces and nephews. Jeff totally wanted a Hatchimal.
No,
for
there's,
himself.
Jeff
There's-
wants to fuck Hatchimals.
Whoa, I didn't go that far.
What's a Hatchimal and why does he?
Okay,
want to fuck-
so it's basically a Furby that comes in an egg.
Okay.
So you get this egg, and you can see the lights, and you can see the little thing moving around inside because the shell's just thin enough that you can see there's something in there, but you don't know what it looks like. You have to rub and take care of this egg and nurture it until it hatches. And it's got this little pointy, sharp beak that you can see poking holes through the egg once it gets to a certain point, and then it rips the egg apart to hatch.
Can you ever put the egg back into it,
No, because the egg's
or
it's
it
toast,
back into the?
right? So, but when
Does
you're
it
done,
lay eggs afterwards?
no. When you're done, you basically have a Furby. It's kind of like a Furby, but it looks like some other creature.
And it
But
hatches itself?
It hatches itself, and then you have a little creature to take care of as a kid.
Sweet. Get a bird.
But
Who
no,
said-
the whole thing behind the Hatchimals thing. There's a friend of mine in Minto.
It's a
who,
bird that doesn't poop.
was trying to buy one for her daughter. Couldn't find one anywhere, so she got one from an unauthorized reseller for like $30-$40 extra.
Fuck, thank you for that one, John.
What?
What's that?
Fuck Hatchimals. It's a ripoff. 20 minutes of playtime for kids. John, like Alex's dick. He doesn't even know you!
Yeah. No,
He
maybe
doesn't even
does.
go here.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But I wasn't even supposed to work today.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Oh my god, I'm
20 minutes
so.
playtime for kids, bud.
I'm a little bit.
There's that
salty
20
now.
again.
Yeah, 20 minutes of playtime for kids. Might as well buy 20 cheeseburgers.
This is the
go down
20
to
episode.
2020. Yeah, 20 episode, 2020.
See, we blew it. You should have saved this entire spit for the 20th episode. Now the 20th episode's going to roll around. You're going to have nothing.
We have 20 subscribers.
That's close enough.
By then, you'll have 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulatory hand touch.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hand hugs for everybody.
We do that
So-
way too much.
Hatchimals, that's actually
It's a real thing.
interesting, but it's so stupid.
Yeah, but kids love it, and parents are just going nuts trying to get them for their kids because they want to be the cool parents.
But they've all hatched and taken off.
Yeah.
They're like,
So there's
it's gonna be like fucking small soldiers. They're gonna bust out and they're just gonna take off into the real world.
See, I kept thinking that was going to happen with Furbies, and when it did, I was really disappointed. So I don't think Hatchimals.
Fuck Furbies. Fuck them in the asshole with a giant gavel. Fuck those things.
They don't have assholes.
And where are you going to get a
Fuck
gavel?
them in the battery compartment.
Okay, that's gonna make this next story really awkward.
That's in the
I burnt my Furby or my sister's Furby.
You
while
had a
it
Furby?
My sister did. Yeah.
Okay.
This thing was fucking. It was in like the closet,
Sister.
and like it would
Yeah,
like go
just-
off.
Just like Jeff was getting those Hatchimals
Like,
for
that,
his
that
niece
shit would
and
go
nephew.
off like in the middle of the night. Like no one's around, no one's like near the motion sensor, but
Oh
it would
my
still
God.
fucking talk. So we put in brand new batteries in this thing, lit the motherfucker on fire, and it still like talked to us while it was on fire. So it's like, I love you, mommy.
It's what that episode of The Simpsons.
Man, it's fucked.
That
It's
actually
absolutely fucked.
reminds me of a story. My grandmother came down to visit when I was a kid, and we only had the 3 bedrooms. My parents had their room, and my sister and I had our rooms. My sister was younger, so they set up a bed in my sister's room for my grandmother to sleep in. At the time, this is when Tickle Me Elmo was big, but I was poor growing up, so we had a Tickle Me Big Bird.
Those existed?
Yeah,
See, I would have
Yeah.
preferred Big Bird.
yeah, he was way better than
Nobody
fucking
likes Elmo.
and he doesn't fuck kids. So, I mean, that was an accusation, right? I mean, it's not like
What do you have against yellow people?
it's not like the new Jared Folk. I'm
Elmo's
talking
red.
about Elmo, you dick face.
He's remember
I thought you
he's,
were talking about, like,
he's
Big
against
Bird
red
and-
people.
No.
Is
Whoa. Let's not go there.
you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself.
Yeah. You're getting ahead of me.
That's not,
Anyway,
That comes later. The racism
So-
comes later.
So anyway, Tickle Me Big Bird. So the batteries are dying in this Tickle Me Big Bird, and we didn't know. So apparently, in the dead of night, my sister's sleeping, my grandmother's sleeping, my sister was sleeping. Her Tickle Me Big Bird was like shoved in like between the wall and the mattress with like all of her stuffed animals, and it was dying. And it decided to go off in the middle of the night. And apparently, my grandmother was having a hard time sleeping. She's from the other side of the country, so she was probably jet lagged. And apparently, she wakes up and all she hears is, ha 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 ha, the tickles. And it was like a
Was
distorted
it
satanic
Tickle
version
Me
of.
Elmo or Tickle Me Hulk?
It sounded like a demonic Tickle Me Cookie Monster, to be honest. But anyway, my grandmother promptly switched rooms, and I had to deal with that. So, yeah.
You should have took the Alex approach and lit it on fire and watched it suffer.
Last thing, there's videos of the Tickle Me Elmo Extreme or like Reverb or whatever. Like it was like the third or fourth generation of Tickle Me Elmo that they did.
Tickle
And they
Me
got
Elmo.
up. It got up off like the floor. Like it would like roll around and would get up, and it's like all robotic and shit. There's people where it's videos of people on YouTube who are lighting that shit on fire, and the thing is like getting up and moving
While burning.
It's like ha 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 ha
And then when the like exoskeleton burns off, it's like your turn. And it like walks up.
It's terrifying.
And it's stabbing
See,
you
that's
in
what
the
they should have
abdomen.
done for the Terminator
And
movie.
you're like,
instead
no,
of,
Elmo,
instead of
no.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, they should have had Tickle Me Elmos take over
Yeah.
the world and
See,
kill everyone.
the first Tickle Me
And
Elmo.
they're like, this tickles.
Is this Tickle?
The first Tickle Me Elmo only vibrated. Like, it would laugh and it would vibrate. My grandmother had one.
Yeah,
so I think we got
that's
it
what
for her
Big
or
Bird
something,
did.
Right? So, I mean...
That was your favorite feature.
Which is fine, but
Yeah,
then...
tickle me vibrator.
Tickle Me Vibrating Big Bird.
No, just tickle me vibrator.
Tickle Me... That was
What
sexy.
was that?
Yeah, somebody had to have made a tickle me Big Bird.
But you can
I'm
only play
pretty
with it
sure
for
there's a
20 minutes.
dildo called the Big Bird.
This is dildo
You'll
called
get it.
Thor.
We don't want the dildo.
Yeah,
again.
no.
That's fucking weird.
Another sandwich.
Yeah, you
Yes.
feeling hungry, Alex?
I'll get Cheetos upstairs.
Right next to the cock sandwiches.
Oh, plural.
Yeah, that's right. There's more than one sandwich.
Well, it's just the bread that's ready.
Ready bread?
Ready bread.
Does cock bread come ready-made, or do you have to bake it yourself at home?
Well, the cock bread is just the heel of the.
Wouldn't
of
it
the
be
bread.
easier to use a hot dog bun?
Probably, but I'm assuming that we didn't have any.
We had that conversation.
Did
Greg.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I never watch your show, so
See-
I don't know.
Leave.
We had this problem with our last guest, too, actually. I think it was about 10 minutes in when Nick went, so what'd you guys talk about on your last podcast? That was his point of conversation.
Nick.
Use your own cock.
Who said that?
John,
John,
who do you think?
I'm not gonna. You know what? There's videos on Space Sticks if you want to go find them. Of man.
Alex's biggest concern when we said that he should have used a hot dog bun or a sausage bun for the dildo sandwich is he goes, well, you gotta support the balls. So, like, Alex is a
dick connoisseur.
yeah. What? That's not
That
what I
was
was
the
gonna
exact
say.
words that I was thinking.
No, I was gonna say that he is a very.
I'm very peculiar about my dicks.
Yeah,
about what dicks are.
you're just a very giving lover. You just know.
You can't neglect the balls, boys.
Yeah, you better support the balls. Somebody
Whose
was talking
balls? Your
about.
balls or your boyfriend's balls?
Well, it's not gay if the balls touch. So
Can you imagine
during
during sex, you're like, oh, I just gotta support my own balls. I gotta hold,
reaching,
I gotta hold
reaching,
myself.
reaching back around to grab them. Is that a thing?
You like fall over, and it's like, why'd you fall? It's like I couldn't catch myself. I was supporting my own balls. Sorry. It's just this thing that I have where I gotta do something for myself once in a while. Let you do you.
Every once in a while, you do have to do you.
You do
Yeah.
you, boo.
You do you.
Boo.
Boo.
You do you, boo.
You do boo you.
Words.
This is just degrading.
Why?
Like it's going downhill at this point.
Why?
Because you're literally just saying words that rhyme with boo at this point.
Words are hard.
Because reasons.
Roll credits.
Yeah. Because lots of reasons. No, yeah, somebody brought out the NES Classic.
I was actually going to mention that. That's another thing like the Tickle Me Elmo.
The both of you are just like,
Just
People are going nuts
I
for
better
it.
jump on this.
I didn't have an NES when I was growing up. I had a Super Nintendo, which was still before my time.
That's not an NES.
No, it's
I
not.
still have an NES somewhere at my parents'
I
house.
have two of them
and
in the
I have
closet.
a GameCube.
I have one and a half of them in the closet because I was going to turn it into an Nintoaster. Old school NES inside the
So yeah,
toaster.
you were going somewhere with the story.
Yes. So I personally wouldn't buy it because I have no nostalgia with the NES. But I do see why they would have done it. It's a very smart move on their part, on Nintendo's part. Their problem is that they should have had like a backlog of units already made, and then basically had them ready to sell because they would have made a lot more money. Because now you got these scalpers that are jacking the price up to $400, $500, $600.
See, I don't know why people would spend the money on the NES Classic. Yes, it's nostalgic, it's cool, but you can only play the 30 games that come on it. You
Yeah.
can't add any more. I won't mention names. The person I'm about to talk to knows who they are, but I don't want to mention names just in case this gets out because for a Christmas gift, one of our friends was supposed to try and find an NES Classic for their family member.
Yeah.
And because you can't find them, he had the brilliant idea of buying a Raspberry Pi and built a retro gaming console. So for only like $40, $50 more than what the NES Classic would be, you now have something that can play those 30 games and then as many more as you can think of from any of the other consoles.
I mean, you can get USB, controllers, and I have a USB SNES controller over there somewhere in that.
Yeah, and there's
mess.
USB NES controllers
Exactly.
as well, and I have like a USB N64 controller. I have a couple that I use all the time, and I mean, there's no reason why. I know. So just torrent them, just steal them, steal all of them online illegally.
No.
And send us guns.
You can't.
Send us
Send us guns and steal shit.
Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this show because it's probably never going to happen again after this week.
They're
going to get a cease and desist from
cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
That's a Canadian joke.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You say Canadian show?
Joke.
Oh fuck! I was like CSIS.
We don't have the FBI.
Not
we
a
have
fun-
CSIS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a CSIS in.
They run out of the back of Tim Hortons.
No, that's their CMP.
Again,
Wow.
you guys really don't want this show to last. do you?
Taking on the police, Alex is.
I don't want to piss off CSIS. I'll piss off the RCMP. I don't give a fuck. It's CSIS you gotta worry about. They're the ones that are gonna steal your gigabits. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna steal shit.
Okay, that's fine. I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit, I lost my train of words.
I lost my
Your
train of words. Cause
You derailed that train.
What were we talking about?
The
I
NES
lost
Classic, and then
NES Classic.
building a Raspberry
Yes.
Pi instead.
So yeah, no, I mean the fact that people are going absolutely ape and shit over these NES Classics. Like you said, it can only play 30 games. Those 30 games though are like some of the most popular games that
Agreed.
they made.
what's
a good
on
selection.
it? What's on it?
Check it out.
Pretty much all of the original Mario games that would have been on the original.
So it would have been
NES.
the probably the 8 black.
So Mario
Legend,
1, 2, and 3.
Zelda.
Okay, Zelda, the 8 black box games most likely. The is 8 or
Donkey
12. Donkey Kong I think was on there.
Kirby. Metroid.
Pac-Man. Legend of Zelda.
So there are good games on it. Yes.
Final Fantasy.
Is it worth $80, $90 to play 30 games?
Ninja Gaiden. Castlevania.
Well, here's the thing. I think it is to a point.
Mega
because
Man 2.
What this is going to do, this is going to create a new generation of people
Punch-Out?
just shitlins who
Dr.
are going to
Mario.
grow up playing this.
Balloon Fight fucking
Eventually.
sucked.
Balloon Fight was terrible.
Man, I think they're literally just putting some of the shit in, like not even like for nostalgia's sake. They're like, let's put in Kid Icarus because Smash Brothers is popular,
Yeah.
and there's that guy in there.
That's honestly why they probably did it.
Yeah,
The,
but I
the
mean,
thing
like,
is, again, with this, is that this is going to
Tecmo
create
Bowl.
somewhat of a market for people who are, oh wow, I want to play more of this. I'm going to go buy an actual NES.
See, I just think it's a missed opportunity that they should have had it tie in with the internet so you could download and install more games than just what the original.
But then
30
it would go the way of the Dreamcast.
Not necessarily, because Nintendo already has their retro store that you can download retro games onto the Wii and the Wii U, so they could just tie it into the same store.
Which is another reason why I wouldn't be surprised if they see a boost in the virtual console sales because of this.
Maybe that's what they're thinking.
But
Again, it would have been a lot more convenient to have this separate system that people that couldn't necessarily afford a Wii or a Wii U.
you mentioned the Dreamcast. Sega is doing the same thing, right? They're releasing or have released a Genesis, a mini Genesis.
I want that.
Which is, it's kind of cool, right? I mean, but I think, don't quote me, but I think that one has capability of
Downloading more games.
Up games.
And that's
games.
that's what they should have done with the Nintendo.
Up games.
Up games.
Up
I
games.
might be totally wrong on that and completely imagining it, but I think there was a mini console that was supposed to come out that was supposed to be
We're gonna have to look into
upgradable.
Yeah.
like-
By the way, thanks for bringing up the Dreamcast. That was the console that should have did way better than it did. Sega should still be making games. I had one, and I had one of the original ones that
John
you
has
could,
one,
you could
apparently.
play. You could play burnt games on it,
Yeah.
and I sold it, and I regret it to this day. And I
Yeah.
still
Like,
wish.
Do you dream about it?
I dream about my Dreamcast.
I dreamcast about it. Podcast about Dreamcast dreams. Dreamcast.
trademark.
You-
So the Dreamcast just came way after its time.
I think it came ahead of its time.
Well, no, because like yes, it was the first console with a 56K modem built in. It did break ground,
Yeah.
but with the PS2 I think it was just the first PlayStation.
Depends how
It was
hard
the
you
original
throw it.
PlayStation.
Yeah, the original PlayStation was being released just very, very shortly after, and everyone flocked to that because it had
Sony.
it had Sony's name on it, sure, but
That's really the only reason I can see.
I
Why
mean, it was, and then so I mean, it could have done a lot better, but it came too late. If it was released, a year before, it would have done phenomenal.
enough time, you're thinking that it could have built up more of a
repertoire, and it would have been a lot better. Yeah.
I have to hijack everything for a second and just put a message out there. Back in episode 2 or 3, I created #FuckJared because of Jared Fogle and another Jared that I knew that I didn't like. So I alienated and chastised 114,000 people by saying fuck Jared. And I stand by it. But there is somebody watching tonight, I believe, whose name is Jared, that I know. And he is an awesome guy. And if you go back and watch those, I just want to apologize. And you are the pardoned Jared. And you are excluded from those 114,936 Jareds. So fuck 114,935 Jareds. I appreciate you.
At this point, I'd be less concerned about all the Jareds you pissed off and all the Asian people that you pissed off instead.
I said something.
There's a lot more of them than there are Jareds.
There's
That's
one,
debatable.
There's one lad out there sitting
I'm sure
eating
there's
his
an
ramen.
Asian Jared out there somewhere.
And you know what?
Why is he eating ramen?
Because his name is Laird.
What?
What?
It's bad. It's a very, very bad joke.
It was poorly executed.
That wasn't even a joke.
I'm trying to take the racism away from Mike at this point.
There you go, Jared.
Don't! That's what everybody watches for.
Yeah, so
Okay. Okay.
so we're gonna start the
Right.
hashtag.
I hate
Fuck
white
Jared,
people.
except for that guy.
Fuck Jared except for that guy. I'm pardoning a Jared. Once a year I'll pardon a Jared. Just like the president pardons a turkey, I will pardon a Jared every year.
So you're saying Jareds are just like turkeys?
On December 10th, I will
Yes.
pardon Jareds.
Do you slaughter Jareds? Is that what this is?
Jive Jareds. Like jive turkeys, right? Give it to me.
Oh my god, you're both terrible.
No one uses the word. I don't know.
How do people even watch your show?
very, very
Jareds.
carefully.
Well,
and
if
with a
you
lot of
log on to
cringe.
becausereasonsshow.com, it goes straight to our YouTube page. When we're live, you can watch it live. And when you're not live, you can watch it on not live.
Yeah, the
when you
best
click
time to
video.
watch it is to watch it not live so you can skip everything that sucks.
That's right. And
Like,
be sure
so,
to
like,
subscribe so you can
90%
skip whatever you
There's
want.
90% of the show you can skip.
Yeah, that's right. You pull up the videos and you can skip whatever you want if you subscribe. If you don't, you gotta watch all of it.
we
That's
also
the only
release
two options there.
highlights from time to time when not on the schedule because
Light
fuck that.
highs.
I won't tell you who it was, but somebody made a comment the other day that the highlights were the best part about this show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, even I think even my father said that he was.
Oh yeah, we had this conversation on the way here.
Yeah, that he said that he was watching. I said, "Oh, neat." And he goes, "Not those fucking hour ones. I don't got time for that shit."
The highlights are. Well, I mean, that's why I have the highlights because I mean I understand that a lot of people don't. They don't have the time to sit there and watch, or they don't.
I put playlists on in the background while I do stuff, though.
Oh yeah, well there you go. And I mean, yeah, sure. Some
Our
from time to time-
playlists. I listen to us.
That's
in my
because
spare time.
you're full of yourself and you like to listen to yourself talk.
That's right.
When
I
I'm
listen to
gaming,
myself
like
in
when
the
I'm
shower.
like, we'll say if I'm playing Minecraft, I'm doing like some mindless, digging. I'll have something off in the background so I can,
Yeah, Alex just admitted he still plays Minecraft. Nobody plays Minecraft anymore.
Up until like a year ago, YouTube were as well.
I have nothing against Minecraft. I lose interest in it very quickly.
Yeah,
A lot of people do, and that's the thing. I mean, Minecraft it's a great game if you have a good community of people to play with.
that's
My
right.
wife, my wife can go out and find a server and find a group of people to play with, and she'll love it. And she spends all kinds of time building
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't know. I don't like people.
I don't like Minecraft, and okay, yeah, that reminds me, people. So when I go out in
They
public,
suck.
I wear headphones, right? I don't really talk to anybody. I get what I need to, like when I go to the store, and that's it. So today I went to the store. One of my headphones is broken, but I keep it in anyway. right? And I'm like, I'm listening to music on one side because I like music, and then I leave the other one in so nobody talks to me.
So you don't
'Cause
look
I'm-
like an
yeah.
idiot. Yeah.
So anyway, so I grabbed my food and I saw a really long line, and I always use the self checkouts because I find that I'm more efficient, and I just go and I do it, and I don't have to interact, and I can keep listening to music or whatever, right?
You have a weird thing about people touching your food.
No, not at all. But anyway, lately I found that like I'll, if I do go through a cashier or something, like I don't even make eye contact anymore, or just like I'm just so focused on other things that I go right through. So I thought, you know what, I need to get back to being more of a people person, and I'm going to go through the speedy checkout and have the cashier ring me through. And everybody in line is a fucking idiot. And the lady behind the cash was so impersonal and stupid and didn't even look at me. And I will never do it again. I'm going right back to self-checkouts. I'm going right back to not interacting with people.
You're going to put yourself back in the bubble.
Yeah, that's right. The lady at the front of the line decided that she had to have this long 20-minute conversation about the stupidest fucking things. I don't even know. And then the lady's like, all right, well, the payment's on the screen if you want. And she's like, I don't even know where my card is. And I'm like, I could punch you right now. And then
Why didn't you offer to pay for it for her?
she was like 3 people ahead of me, and fuck her. Anyway, and then the next person goes through and pays, and then the person in front of me isn't paying attention. They don't move up in the line. And I'm like, this is really annoying. And then I get up to the lady. I'm like, hi, how are you? And she's like, meh. And she just rings it through. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck everybody. There's a reason why I don't interact with people in public anymore. Because everybody's a fucking downer. And they're fucking idiots. And if somebody looked up and said, hey, how's it going? I would have had a nice conversation with them.
I like to make the whole interaction with the people at the cash as awkward and personal as possible. Like, I don't know. I'll walk up and they'll be, oh, well, how are you today? I'm like, fucking terrible. And they're like, oh, and they'll either.
I want you to answer this honestly.
Yeah.
How many times have you whipped out a magic trick when you were paying for your groceries?
Maybe once or twice.
How many times have you whipped out
Your penis.
other things?
My wallet all the time.
This-
Wallet is code for dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess I don't
Please
actually do
put item
magic in public
bagging
as
area.
often.
Unexpected item in bagging area.
That
That actually happened to me the other day. I rang something through in the self-checkout, and as soon as I was about to go put it down in the bagging area, it showed up twice on the screen, and then when I put it down, they're like, put the other one in there, and I was like, it's in there, there's only one, and it was like, put the other one in, you can't continue until you put the other one in, you're trying to steal another one.
So the machine knew you were trying to steal bags.
Yeah.
Just trying to steal the bags, just the bags.
Just the
Just wanted
bags.
some
They don't care
bags.
about the stuff.
I went to the Walmart one the other day. They said, how many bags did you fill? And I was like, oh, I filled 2 bags. I was pretty efficient today.
10
And it was
cents,
like
please.
5 cents per bag, 5 cents per bag. And I was like, fuck you. What if I put 0?
Were you into Walmart the night or the day or two after the woman was saying she had a canned good thrown at her?
No,
One
somebody
of-
said there was a can
one
good
of-
thrown at?
One of the cashiers
That's incredible.
told a customer that they would have to pay 5 cents per bag for the bags. He lost his shit and threw a canned item of some sort at her and whipped it and tried to hit her in the head with this can.
What? So you have to pay for bags.
You have to pay
Kidney
5 cents.
beans!
Yeah.
Fuck everyone in the direction of that this can
Yeah.
is being thrown in.
Well, to be fair, the last place that he did that at, they didn't charge him for bags. So
And that's, I mean,
she was probably like, "Oh, I get your point. Okay,
Point.
I see what you mean. I can't argue with that logic.
Yeah.
Here's your free bags."
Here, have some bags because you were so
Fucking-
great about it.
I mean, fucking bring your own, you degenerate. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been hitting the head with a can of pop, like a full can of pop before, but never like a can, like an actual
yeah,
can.
canned
Can of
food
product.
of some
A
sort.
can of
Can
product.
of fucking
That
rocks.
stuff's made to last through
Man,
like
I fucking
nuclear
love product.
explosions. So
And cashiers' faces.
yeah, apparently.
When I somebody had salsa thrown at them, glass jar, and she caught it. That's impressive.
That's what it was.
I,
Thank you to whoever corrected me on that because I couldn't remember.
A
the story.
glass jar, and she caught it because
She had quick reflexes.
yeah. What they didn't realize is the one was working at Walmart, and he threw like the salsa at her, and he threw like 2 more things at her, and she was just like.
It was
they
slow
stopped,
motion.
and then she cocked her head, and they hit the ground, and they're like, "Who are you?" Anyway, no, when I was working at Sobeys way back in high school, there was one day, it was closer to Christmas, everybody called in sick. My mom was the supervisor there, and she actually told me, she's like, you're not doing anything at school. She's like, just take a sick day from school and come work as the cart boy, bag boy for the day. And I was like, fuck it, whatever, I get to miss school. So I left school to go to work at a grocery store.
You led an exciting life as a child.
It was incredible. You have no
I'm
idea.
so jealous.
And now I'm here.
You've moved up in the world.
Yeah.
Well, down.
My
down
father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
It's just a small loan.
So I skipped school to do that now. So anyway, there I am. I'm working at the grocery store. I was bagging for cashiers, and there's this one guy who came through, and he's absolutely pissy, and he was already having a hard time. And there's this girl who worked the cash. I'm not gonna say her name because she's a total sweetheart, and I'm sure she doesn't know I still tell this story. But anyway, she talks like a valley girl. Like everything's like really drawn out, right? So anyway, so this guy gets his deli meat rang through, and it's scanning wrong or whatever. And then she calls the department, they're taking forever, and he gets all pissed off, and he grabs it, he's like, you know what, never mind. And he slapped her in the face with this deli meat in the package, just
just challenged her to a duel.
Yeah,
Slap.
he slapped her with it. And she's all stunned, the customers behind him are stunned. I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? Because I'm going to piss myself laughing. Because this is hilarious. And everyone else is like, this is an assault. This is an ordeal. And I'm like, I am going to lose my shit. This is funny as hell. And she looks at him and she just goes, don't do that again. And he's all stunned, like, did she just talk to me like that? And she goes, fuck, now I smell like meat. And that's when I ran away, because I could not stop laughing. I was literally crying.
At least she had her priorities straight, though. She didn't want to smell like meat.
Like meat.
I knew exactly where you were going to go with that, because as you started to tell the story, I'm like, oh, you should tell the one where she's like, ew, now I smell like meat.
Fuck. Now I smell
like meat.
Like meat. And like just an example of how slow she talked, or how like drawn out things were. I remember one time I was having a conversation with my mom, and she walked in, and she's like, hey, last night I had this chicken wrap and I put ranch on it, so it was right good. And then walked away. And I was like, now you smell like meat.
Now you smell like chicken ranch.
Now you smell like chicken
I was going to
ranch.
start telling a few of the stories that I had, but I worked at a Savesy, in my hometown. Savesy. Yeah. A few of the people that work there called it a Slavezy because it's way too easy to use. I'm like, oh, that's fun. No, it's not funny. So a few things that happened during Christmas time when we get these like massive butterball turkeys in. If it was like really slow, which sometimes it was, snowstorms and shit, we would line up 10 bottles of pop at one end of the warehouse. And
Butterball bowling.
Butterball bowling, man, absolutely amazing. There was another time where I'm literally mopping the floor and I feel the bucket at my feet, and I go to turn around and my supervisor's standing right there, and it was like a half second. I look at her and she just says boo, so it's like boo. I scream like a little bitch, knock the bucket over, it goes flying, there's water everywhere. One of the customers at the front said, did some little girl just get stabbed? And one of the girls there
No, she got scared.
Yeah, no, she said a little girl got scared.
And one of the cashiers said, no, that's just Alex. She knew exactly what had happened, because the supervisor liked to scare me from time to time.
Yeah.
Like jump scare shit, right? I hated her when I first started, and then we bonded over the course of a while, and a friend of mine had passed away in a car accident. She gave me
knowing
a big
Alex,
hug.
I thought he was about to say they boned, and then they became closer.
No, her husband would not have liked that.
Probably not.
There was another thing that we used to do at the CVC. There would be the bread carts we brought into the warehouse. And
You
put
thought
them in
this was the
freezers.
coolest job ever, didn't you?
Man, no.
When you worked there, you were like, I work at the CVZ.
I work at the CVZ?
Motherfucker.
No.
You pick bitches up
It was
like that.
it was just something to keep me out of trouble, which it didn't.
wasn't very
It
successful.
created trouble.
It created trouble for me. It created a lot of trouble for me. Basically the bakery would bring like their big racks of like dough balls, like they're for rolls and shit, and bring them out into the like the dairy freezer. So they
That's
can keep
actually
cold.
my rap name.
Dairy freezer?
Dough ball.
dough ball.
Dairy freezer's my hype man. It was dough ball.
Dough ball.
Dairy freezer.
Dairy freezer!
I
Shout out!
poked you and you laughed like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
I laughed like the Pillsbury
You know,
Dough
if
Mike.
the Pillsbury Doughboy could,
Pillsbury
you know,
Doughboy.
grow half a beard, then I could see it.
So the dough balls, sometimes, you know, they would fall off the rack and they would just sit there in the warehouse. Because it's rather warm in the warehouse, they would like puff up. They would get like pretty big.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would fall off, which we would literally just take them and hide them somewhere else in the warehouse.
So that you could.
So they
Have them.
like a week later they'd be like these massive like balls. So like I went and hid one in the vegetable room. And there's this old lady that was managing the produce freezer for years, and
She just managed the freezer.
yeah, just she managed the produce of the place. So there was the
You go to walk in and she's just there and she's just like, "You cannot come into the freezer." She was just
You shall
yeah,
not pass.
she was just the freezer troll, the vagrant.
so like
Gotta
I
pray
hid
the
one.
freezer troll to get
I-
into this
I-
boy's hole.
Like I waited for one of them to get like big, right? I waited for one of them to puff up, and I threw it into the freezer like behind a bunch of bananas. And she was gone for like a week.
Don't
So it was-
When you do the clips show afterwards, you should just start with I waited for it to get big and waited for it to puff up, and completely out of context put that up as a clip.
I waited for it to get big, and then I waited for it to puff up. And then there's this lady this old
Who was
lady that
next
used
there?
to manage the freezer,
She-
and I just threw it in.
I just threw it in, just completely out of out of context.
That's way better off top or out of context than.
So anyway, she saw it and she got like
And I
really
screamed like a little girl.
I screamed like a little bitch. No, she got like super pissed. And, like there's
Yeah.
like kind of a manhunt, you know, as much as you can at a grocery store, for whoever had done it. She they came back from like a week. So, but the best part of about those dough balls is we would go up top of the warehouse, and it would just be basically all the ceiling tile for just like this.
The
up
drop
here.
ceiling, yeah.
The drop ceiling. So we would just throw them up top, and then of course you can't get them back. So there'd just be like all these big like bread balls.
That would just continue to grow.
Oh yeah, they just keep rising.
And then everybody got like pertussis from the mold that was just growing around the whole store.
So
All
one
the
of
The
the
health
guys.
inspector shuts the place down.
So one of the guys that was working there with
Alex's
us,
job.
his mother was the assistant manager, and he goes up there one day, whips one across the warehouse, and it lands on top of the counter of the Sears counter that was there, like where you buy your lottery tickets and shit, and cigarettes and shit. Lands right there, because it went through like a small crack or something, and he realized what happened. He's like, "Fuck!" So he like bolts downstairs, like goes to try to do something productive, and like his mother walks up and says, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What? What do you mean? I've just been standing here." she
Wow.
It was it was pretty funny.
The things you get up to in grocery stores. I remember when I was working at this one grocery store downtown. I transferred when I moved to this city. And I was working there downtown. I was in the bakery. And I had almost no friends at this store. And it wasn't a very busy store, so they didn't have a whole lot of people working there. So, like, there was only a few people during my shift, and it was hard to make friends. And I wasn't in very good shape. Not that I am now.
What?
But
You weren't?
I was in worse shape then. I was working in a bakery. I didn't get a lot of hours, so we didn't buy, like, good groceries. So, like, while I was working, it's like half a loaf of banana bread. That's my meal.
I still do that.
yeah. Now that I can afford banana bread. But no,
I ate the entire loaf.
yeah, or you just eat all kinds of shit. Anyway, so I was I had an iced tea, and I was really thirsty, and I have really bad acid reflux. And so I walked to the back of the bakery, and I was like chugging this thing because I was really thirsty. And just then I had a burp, a hiccup at the same time because of my acid reflux. A lot came up with that. And at that moment, I sneezed. And all I know is that I walked to the back of the bakery, chugged an iced tea, and then immediately just went, and I snarfed. Like I fucking sneeze barfed out of my nose, right? And it was just burning and shooting out. And I was like, this is disgusting. And all I remember is looking up and looking through the window of like the back door that goes out back, and the poor girl in the produce department's just standing there, just in horror.
You scarred her for life.
Yeah, she watched me snarf all over the bakery in the back there.
And she never looked at you the same way ever again.
She didn't look at anybody like anything. She was a grumpy little cunt. But anyway, she watched me snarf.
That happened.
That didn't really treat me any different. But anyway, I don't
guess
really have
that
too much
works.
else.
I'm lost at this point. I can't.
Yeah.
Just like you made me cry a little bit.
Yeah, I think we had a really successful podcast. I think this was a really good episode. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If everybody liked it, then like it, like physically by pressing it.
If you're liking it specifically because of me and you want me back on the show, make sure you comment in the comment section and let the guys know.
Yeah, write about whether or not. Tell us whether or not you like Greg. And
I can take it.
I'll read it to him and film his reaction
And
if
I'll
there's
cry.
enough comments about Greg.
And don't
That
forget
being
to,
said,
and don't forget to subscribe because otherwise you won't be able to find out when we're doing this awesome content.
because reasons.
Because reasons. We like I said, we post videos, highlights throughout the week, just to kind of give you the tidbits of what was actually exciting about these hour and a half sessions.
That's right. But for the most part, we'll do this once every weekend on Friday or Saturday nights. We'll go live. If you can't catch it live, it's always posted afterwards. You can go on the Because Region Show Facebook page for more. You can follow us on Titter. You can follow us on Titter.
On the Titter.
But also Twitter. At words are hard. You can probably find it with Because Reasons. Yeah, regardless, thanks for tuning in. And be sure to tune in next weekend when we lay Alex out on the table and bleach his asshole live.
That's
In front of everybody. There'll be an audience, a live studio audience for that.
we can make that happen. All right. We'll have to reach over the table now to turn this off.
Yeah, I want to see you climb over there and shut this broadcast down.
You want to start my ass?
I want you to seductively do it. Do it as seductively as possible.
God.
Okay.
End it. Just end the show.
Look in there. Look in there.
No.
Tongue out a little bit. Face up more. Mouth open. And happier. Sadder.
Hold on.
Happier.
More confused.
Greg, I'm sorry. I really have to.
This.
Just shut it down. I don't want to stare at your ass.
Yes.
White power.
Spackle that crack, bud.